So recently there was a match that happened that I don't think many people actually know happened. And to me at least, it was so good that I'm now going to make a video on it. But before we begin, and I promise you don't want to miss this one. Recently, I teamed up with the J-League once again, and we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be giving away this limited edition J30 ball. Be a part of history, because when I say this is limited edition, the J-League has only made a handful of these. All you have to do is go to the J30 ball video that'll be in the description or in the annotations, then comment the country you're from in the video, and you've been entered. The winner will be announced on a community post on June 24th. That'll be a Wednesday, so you don't have that much time, so enter right now. And while you're at it, go and actually check out the matches over the weekends. Not very often, or really at all, do you see a major league like the J-League broadcasting some of their games on YouTube completely free across the entire world except for Japan. You have 3 games on the 20th. Kawasaki Frontale play Yokohama FC, and while Kawasaki are the favorites, Yokohama have won their last 2 games of 3. During that same time, you'll also be able to see Kashiwa Reysol play the league leaders Vissel Kobe. And then finally, you could watch Gamba Osaka versus the reigning champions Yokohama F. Marinos. So, what's stopping you from ending off the night with a great football match, or even starting your morning very early with the football match? So again, to enter the giveaway for this ball, all you have to do is go into the J30 ball video, comment your country, you're entered. And if I've got your attention to watch these games over the weekend, just subscribe to the J-League International channel and you'll be up to date. So let's quickly introduce you to both parties. First, we have Lyon, and Lyon used to be the club in France. 7 straight titles between 2001 and 2008. And in the 2009-2010 Champions League, they reached all the way to the semi-finals. However, since their improbable Champions League semi-finals appearance in 2019-20, Lyon have not featured in the Champions League. The last time they qualified was back in the 2018-19 Ligue season. You might notice also that Saint-Etienne finished 4th that season. Where are they now? 10th in the 2nd division. But it's been a pretty rough road for Lyon lately. 2019-20 saw them finish 7th after the league was cut short due to COVID. The failure to qualify for the Champions League was bad, but even worse were the 36.5 million in losses. In 2020-21, Lyon started really well and were even top of the league by matchday 19. However, the second half of the season saw Lyon lose 5 times, and they missed out on Champions League football by 2 points. Then in 2021-22, their star player Memphis Depay left for Barcelona, and the club never placed higher than 6th throughout the entire season. In the end, Lyon ended up 8th with no European football. This season, though, Lyon have started their campaign 6 games unbeaten. However, they then went on a 5-game winless run, which consisted of 4 straight losses, leading to the sacking of manager Peter Bosz. Former Bordeaux and PSG manager Laurent Blanc took over soon after. His start wasn't great, but in recent weeks, he's helped Lyon pick up form, and they are now 7th. A huge contributor to the team's success this year has been Alexandre Lacazette. Since moving back to his boyhood club from Arsenal, he scored 24 goals in all competitions. Another player putting in some good performances is 19-year-old Ryan Cherki, who is finally coming out of his shell. BCHD's clone currently has 3 goals and 5 assists. Don't forget about 23-year-old Maxence Kakere, who has 6 assists and averages almost 2 key passes per game. Finally, there's Lyon's new rising star, 20-year-old attacking midfielder Bradley Barcola, who has 5 goals and 3 assists. Defense has been alright. The club has the 7th best in the league. However, if you look a little deeper, Lyon are actually 15th in clean sheets kept. They've only kept 3 this year alone. Montpellier has won the Coupe de France in 1929 and 1990. The 1990 winning team featured Carlos Valderrama, Laurent Blanc, and Roger Milla. They're also one of the only clubs to still be in Ligue and to have played in the inaugural 1932-33 French First Division season. However, they didn't win a league title until 2012, when the team featured the likes of Hilton, Henry Bedimo, Younes Belhanda, and of course, Olivier Giroud. The season Montpellier won Ligue was just the team's 3rd campaign back in the First Division after a 5-year stint in the 2nd. The successful title run was even more impressive due to the fact that 2nd place PSG had spent over 107 million. Montpellier's expenses, just 2 million. And that was Henry Bedimo. But since then, Montpellier has been somewhat of a selling club. They'll buy someone for very cheap or graduate an academy player, and once said player breaks out, they'll be sold pretty much the very next summer. It happens every time. The season after winning the title saw league top scorer Olivier Giroud leave for Arsenal for 12 million. Another season passes and both Younes Belhanda and Henry Bedimo leave. Youth product Remy Cabella, who performed really well in 2013-14, was sold to Newcastle in the following summer for 10 million. Morgan Sassol had a breakout campaign in 2015-16 which led to him being sold to Marseille for 12 million. Despite Montpellier finishing 15th in 2016-17, Steve Mounier scored 14 times, while Riyad Boudebouz scored 11 times and assisted 9 more. The following summer, of course, saw them both be sold. 19-year-old Nori Mukiele spent 2 seasons at Montpellier and then moved to Leipzig in 2018 for 16 million. Gaëtan Laborde and Andy Delors were an entertaining dynamic duo in the 2020-21 season. In total, the two scored 31 times and assisted another 17. And you guessed it, the following summer saw them both be sold. Montpellier has done a great job at maintaining a profit for the most part every season because of their philosophy, but it has come at a cost. Since their only appearance in the Champions League in 2012, Montpellier have actually not featured in a European competition since. They did come close in 2018-19 though, finishing 6th. However, there were 2 different domestic cup winners both below the top 6 that were granted European spots instead. Fast forward to this season and not much has really changed. Montpellier started well as they were placed 5th after 5 games. But after losing 5 of their next 6 games, manager Olivier Dalloglio was sacked. Romain Pitot was then appointed, but he could only manage 2 wins, 2 draws, and 7 losses, leaving Montpellier placed 15th, just 2 points above the relegation zone. The club then turned to Michel de Zakarian, who managed the club between 2017 and 2021. His appointment has worked really well so far, as Montpellier went on a 7-game unbeaten run to start his tenure. Which brings us back to present day. Montpellier, after a rough start, have recovered and are now 12th in the league. The team has a pretty above average and extremely direct attack, with 15 different players having assisted at least once in the league. Key goal scorers include attacking midfielder Teishi Savanier with 10 goals and 6 man-of-the-match performances. There's also left midfielder Faitout Mouassa, who has 9 goal contributions to his name. Included in the bunch is right midfielder Arnaud Nordin with 7 goals and 3 assists. But the cream of the crop is Montpellier's new rising star, 20-year-old striker Eli Wahi. With 13 goals and 4 assists, there's a good chance he moves in the summer, seeing how the pattern has gone. Now, the problem throughout the season for Montpellier has been their defense. However, since the appointment of de Zakarian, Montpellier not only has the joint 3rd best attack, they also have the best defense in the league entirely. Both center-back Kiki Kouyaté and left-back Isiaga Sila have been pivotal to Montpellier's impenetrable wall. On a completely different side note though, if you put these 2 players' nationalities' flags together, you'll probably have an aneurysm. With 5 games remaining, Montpellier and Olympique Lyonnais would play each other in Lyon. 12th place Montpellier were safe from relegation, but were no longer in contention for European football, so this was more just playing for pride. It was a completely different story for 7th place Lyon though. A European spot holding Rennes loss meant the door was open for Lyon to be tied on points with Rennes if they could win. Looking at the lineups, things are pretty standard for Lyon. However, there was neither Kiki Kouyaté nor Teishi Savanier for Montpellier. The match starts, and things start pretty tame with Montpellier and Lyon both coming up with a couple set pieces. The breakthrough is then found in the 30th minute when Barcola keeps a Cherki delivery in play and Lacazette bags an early goal. However, 39 minutes played, Lyon's own 20-year-old midfielder Johan Lepenon makes a costly error and Eli Wahi capitalizes on the naive mistake. Just a minute later, as nervous as 95% of football social media when they encounter a woman in real life, Johan Lepenon makes another costly error, and it's that man, Eli Wahi, to give Montpellier the lead this time. And believe me when I tell you that one meme with Gordon Ramsay with kids versus adults.
Don't worry, look, I'm here to help you. Please don't get upset. Hey, don't worry. Listen. Go.
Definitely did not apply to this kid, because Lyon fans were letting Lepenon absolutely have it. Now, I know he isn't exactly a kid, but still, I mean, 20 years old, that's basically a kid in the world of football. At halftime though, the score was Lyon 1, Montpellier 2. And it would only get worse for Lyon as they gave away a sloppy penalty in the 50th minute. Wahi completes his hat-trick and Montpellier are seemingly running away with it. But he wasn't done tormenting Lyon though. And nor was Lyon's own midfield, as Wahi runs in behind Lyon's 2-defender backline with ease, gets past the keeper, and tucks in his 4th. Quick mention, by the way, this was just 4 minutes after the previous goal. And soon after, in the 59th minute, Laurent Blanc says enough is enough and substitutes Johan Lepenon for Jeffinho. Jeffinho. But coincidence or not, Lyon immediately pull one back through Alexandre Lacazette. 61 minutes played now, Lyon continue to grill on the left and nearly reply again. 9 minutes later, Maxence Kakere sends first-class mail to Dejan Lovren, and now Lyon just need one more to equalize with plenty of time to do it. 81st minute now, Bradley Barcola takes his man on and squares it to the man of the hour, Alexandre Lacazette. Lack of threat, who? Hat-trick for the Frenchman, and more importantly, Lyon have come back from 4-1 down in an unbelievable 23 minutes. But Lyon, they aren't finished. They're still running with this momentum. They storm Montpellier like Eurovision fans after this year's jury disaster class. Then into the 7th minute of stoppage time, Lyon nearly score that 5th goal. Wait just 1 second though, because in the words of the late Billy Mays, but wait, there's more. During the build-up of the previous play, a foul was committed on Lacazette, and after a decent check from VAR, a penalty is awarded to Lyon at the very death. Alexandre Lacazette, with seemingly the last kick of the game, steps up and belts it into the top right corner with ease. So in the end, Lyon, after being 4-1 down by the 55th minute, score 4 unanswered in a miraculous comeback to win 5-4. With that result, Lyon now see themselves tied on points alongside 6th place Rennes with 3 more matches to grab a European spot. Now, let's briefly go over some of the statistics in this game. And we'll start off with the top players here, the strikers. Everything they touched turned to gold. Eli Wahi, 4 shots, 4 goals. Alexandre Lacazette, 4 shots, 4 goals. Not often would you consider 2 man of the matches in one game, but I think this one is a massive exception. Now, some key performances outside of the strikers, for Lyon at least, included Bradley Barcola, who had a hat-trick of assists. Maxence Kakere, 5 key passes in this game, the most of any other player. It wasn't exactly Ryan Chereki's best game, but he was still showing off how much of a danger he can be on the flanks. 7 dribbles of 9 completed. While 3 goals of the 4 that Montpellier scored were created by Lyon's midfield, Montpellier still had a couple great performers in this match. Defensive midfielder Joris Chotard pulled up today and provided 2 assists for Wahi off 2 mistakes. Faitud Mouassa put in a pretty good shift, especially in work rate. Despite being an attacking player, he made 7 successful tackles, the most of any other player in this game. And finally, there was Arnaud Nordin, who created 2 key passes in this game. But that's pretty much the end of it. I just kind of wanted to talk about this game because, I don't know, I did something similar to this with Lazio Udinese all the way back in 2021. That was a really fun video to make, so why not do it again, right? Now, I know there was also some other good games, like there was River Plate versus Boca Juniors, where there was like 500 different red cards. You could also probably talk about the 1963 Boxing Day ass results that happened in the Premier League recently. But of course, a massive shout out to all our patrons, including Janos Baras, Christa Maceno, Miliwe009, Thomas, Aldipu, Alex Rod, Ulta, Amin Suamez, Aresan, Carlos Anaya, Daniel Ortiz, Francisco Hernandez, Guy, Joao Carvalho, Jonah, Marco Fujimoto, Miguel Munoz, Return Fire, Rory Burns, Saw, Slider Kits, Sniffix, The Motor Drive, Tomicus, Vanilla Mexican 17, Victor, Bubble, Chris Visconsi, Q's Natty Champs 2022, Dominic Griffin, Emmett Shea, Lewis, Joe Paricio, Michael Nista, MX Weeb, Niche, Patrick Barley, and Unbroken Persona. If you'd like to join the Patreon, there'll be a link down below and up in the annotations. You can follow my Twitter if you want, follow my Instagram if you want, follow my TikTok, trying to get to 20,000 there, I guess, and of course you can follow my semi-active Twitch. We're very close to 10k, so if you want to follow and get that up to 10k, that'd be quite nice. But until then, I'll see you guys.